could be up a lot more. That last 2 minutes or so for Auburn was really productive for them on the offensive side of the ball. They were able to claw their way back into the game, and this fourth quarter is going to determine it.
Scott right away in the fourth quarter lets a three fly and misses. Hit 4 3-pointers tonight. Leads both teams. Not able to connect there. Kelly on the other side on the left wing. Kelly going up with it, but it's blocked back by Taylon Collins. Stay with Oregon.
And still Oregon without a three-point basket in this game. They're 0-5.
Kelly able to get it into Muhammad. Muhammad trying to get back in. Now gets it down low at Che. Che goes up with it a little bit too strong. Grabs her own miss. Again goes back up with it. Tips around. And it's going to say, they're going to say that it went off of Che, so it'll go to Auburn. But the fight we've seen tonight from Philly Che has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it certainly has. She's just had a monster of a game. She's 1 rebound away from a double-double, 10 points and 9 boards.
Scott working around the perimeter to get another three fly. This time she lets it hit. Talia Scott keeping Auburn in it and now makes it a 3-point game.
And she has just been money from deep. Now 5 of 8 for beyond the arc for Talia Scott.
Alatea in the corner. Sophia Bell, a three. She answers. Sophia Bell knocks down her first triple of the night. Puts Oregon back up by 6.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Ducks. A perfect time to hit your first three-pointer.
Still haven't seen Gaston back on the court for Auburn as the jumper misses. Kelly able to haul it in. Pushing the ball quickly for Oregon. Now in the corner again, Sophia Bell all alone. Another three. Yes! Back-to-back for Sophia Bell. And the Oregon bench is fired up.
Did she bank that in from the corner? Bank is open in Eugene for no matter where you shoot it from. Maybe Oregon saved their three-point prowess for the fourth. Back-to-back threes.
Sophia Bell came into this game with 3 straight with multiple three-pointers. Now she makes it 4 straight as it's stolen away. Falatea, great hands inside, and Che able to come away with it.
What a screen.
Falatea goes up with it with the finesse. Che grabs the miss, puts it back up. Easy lay-in. All Oregon here to start the fourth quarter.
Well, Filipina Che built a brick wall on the screen, let Falatea move by, and then Che's able to clean it up in close quarters. She's got a double-double now, 12 points and 11 rebounds.
Looked like Auburn was going to make this a really close game, and now Oregon has been unleashed as Auburn is fighting inside. The putback is in from Collins. Brings it back down to 9 points.
This fourth quarter has been a game of runs. Auburn hits the big three to cut the lead in half. Oregon answers, and then just like that, they're back up by 9.
Alatea now top of the key. Kelly thought about a three-pointer, goes in, going to pull it from the right elbow, misses. Che going up with it, tips it out, and it's stolen away by Bostic. Bostic moving up ahead, has 2 ducks in her sight. Tipped away, Falatea and Sophia Bell go to the ground. Whistle has not been blown, and the whistle finally gets blown. I call it a jump ball after Kelly already had it.
It was a really nice play defensively by Deja Kelly. She misses that mid-range jumper, one that she's made so many times throughout her career. Doesn't get it to drop, but great hustle to get back on defense, slow down that fast break for Auburn, and then ultimately get the ball back for her team.
Sarah Rambis and Peyton Scott check in for Che and Kelly. Falatea brings it up and stolen away immediately by Scott. Scott goes up with it, able to create the separation, and goes up with the left-handed. So a great steal and score there from Scott. Now Peyton Scott for Oregon. Leading the way with 13 points. Mina Mohammed, top of the key. Loses it a little bit. Falatea, shot clock down to 5 seconds. And a whistle and a foul gets called against Mohammed as she was trying to set up the screen. Kelly Graves and the Oregon crowd not happy with that one. Muhammad, that's her fourth.
Yeah, Coach Graves did not agree with that one in the slightest, but just that possession from the get-go, it seemed like it was all out of sorts for Oregon.
Auburn's been able to cut it back to a 7-point lead. Down low, it's Gaston who's back in the game for Auburn. A huge player for Auburn to get back on the floor. Up ahead to Sophia Bell. And it gets tipped away. Gaston and Muhammad, both fives for each team, fighting for it.
That was Bostic that poked it from behind, and then that's what led to that jump ball. Possession arrow this time favors Auburn.
Deja Kelly, a quick substitution from the bench for less than a minute. She comes back out for the Ducks. Down low, Subhan Lee able to go up with the left-hand hook. It's a 5-point game now. Deja Kelly calls a timeout as she takes the ball across midcourt. Oregon had all the momentum on their side to start the fourth quarter, but Auburn fighting here midway through the end of the fourth quarter, and they're not going anywhere. Ducks up by 5 points, 58-53, 5:26 when we return on Big Ten Plus. They're shouting here at Matthew Knight Arena as their Ducks lead by 5 points. A great atmosphere. The fans, they're getting their money's worth. A good ball game down the stretch. And both these teams have played in front of some great crowds this year. Oregon and Baylor, it was a sellout here at Matthew Knight Arena, and in Auburn as well last season. Had some big matchups, took down the defending champs in LSU. So both these teams know what it's like to play in front of a good crowd. Yeah, they certainly do. It has been it's been one heck of a game. It seems like when one team throws a punch, the other one, it just counterpunch. Like a couple fighters throwing haymakers. And I think it's been a game of runs, especially through this fourth quarter. Auburn on a 6-0 run in the last minute 50 or so. And I think it's going to come down to whichever team gets that last big run of the ball game, whether it's Oregon to close it out or if it's Auburn to come from behind because they're down by 5 right now. That's going to determine the winner of this game, in my opinion. Yeah, not only is Auburn on a 6-0 run, but Oregon hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Well, a big reason that Oregon had a lot of the momentum on their side in that third quarter is because they were matching everything Auburn was doing. But now here in the fourth, it's been more of Auburn. Oregon still, though, out ahead by 5.
Now let's see what Kelly Graves drew up out of this timeout.
Bounce pass inside of Muhammad. Takes a few hops around the rim and finally falls in.
And that'll work. Just a simple give and go. Kelly to Muhammad. Ducks back up by 3 scores.
Scott, who's been dangerous all night for Auburn, goes up with a floater, misses, tipped around, and grabbed. Now out. 3-pointer from Duhan. That one misses, just a little bit too strong. Scott able to chase down the rebound. Scott around pressure in the corner. Extra pass out to Deja Kelly. Thought about a three-pointer. Stops, pops, hits. There's the shot Kelly's been looking for all night.
Hasn't been the most efficient, was just 2 of 10 from the field, but after that one, a big 2 points for Oregon and Deja Kelly.
Duhan taking all herself, the finger roll for Ness. What a move towards the rim for Duhan.
Just such a fast response for Auburn. Anytime Oregon scores, the Tigers just so quick to respond.
Ramis looking to give and go for Scott. Gets it down low to Muhammad. Muhammad off the backboard. And with Che not out there, Muhammad's taking over down low, and she's done just that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, just because there's no Filipina Che in the ball game holding it down at center doesn't mean these Ducks are afraid from taking it down to the low block.
Duhan trying to kick it back out. Gets it out to Subani. Now Scott, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Scott looking to get a shot off. Gets one from the top of the key. Hits it. Oh, my goodness. Talia Scott just dropping everything from beyond the arc.
And the majority of her shots from the field have been from 3, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 6 of 10 from deep now is Talia Scott. She's got 22 points.
And it's tipped away. Muhammad trying to chase it down. Subani was the one who caused it. Oregon able to keep it on their side.
Ducks got to hurry here.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Scott at the top of the key. Penetrates. It's stolen away by Bostic. Sophia Bell chasing her down. Bostic going up with it. Contested. And she misses the lay. And Muhammad is traveling right behind her. Fighting for it. And a whistle is going to be called. It looks like it's going to be a foul against Bostic. So it will stay with Oregon.
And how about the hustle by Sophia Bell? Look, she basically comes out of nowhere. She's not even in the frame until the very last moment. Bostic almost looked like she slowed up like she had an easy layup, but Sophia Bell disrupts the shot, and Oregon's able to keep this thing at 6 points.
Talked a lot tonight about the transition, especially whenever Oregon gets a stop on defense, but it's also the same whenever Oregon not able to convert on offense and has to quickly transition to defense. Great example right there is Philly Che back on the court. Good feed from Muhammad. Down low, Philly Che. And Che is fired up. She's been fired up all night. But you got to think that one feels good for her, letting the crowd know it.
Oh my goodness. Filipina Che has been on a mission this game. I mean, not even before the shot, just her ability to handle some of these passes. These are high passes up in the air, being able to high point the basketball, keep it up there and put the ball through the hoop is just, the ability to do that tonight for Che has been uncanny.
So immediately the referee is going over towards Kelly Graves, and Graves has had some not so good interactions with them tonight. Not entirely sure what that was. Che is going to go to the line to try to convert on the and one, so I'm not too sure what Graves is upset at, but
I'm not sure the right word to describe how this game has been officiated, but it's been whistle busy.
Che not able to convert on the and one. Ducks up by 8 points. Over 2:30 to play. Scott pulls up just past the left key. That one misses. Subban Mi able to grab the miss and gets it back out to Scott. Scott trying to create separation, guarded by Mevius. Now Subban Mi, jumper from Gaston is good.
And it doesn't seem like Oregon's just going to be able to run out the clock. Yes, the time is on their side, but it seems like they're going to need a couple more baskets down the stretch to close this one out.
Mevius trying to create moves inside, kicks out to Sophia Bell. Bell just off the side of the rim, was looking for that one. Bostic transitioning for Auburn. Now trying to answer Scott in the corner. That one misses as well. Mevius grabs the miss.
That was a big possession, big missed opportunity for the Tigers. Now Oregon can slow it up, take as much time off the clock as they possibly can.
Scott trying to go against Kelly, and Kelly looking for separation. And a whistle gets called against Talia Scott. A little bit too much contact in there. She was trying to get a hand on it while Kelly had it.
And in this fourth quarter, not a lot of fouls for each team. That's just a third on Auburn. Only one for Oregon in this fourth. And unlike the third quarter, both teams had 5 fouls before the halfway point.
Kelly guarded by Bostic. Got tipped away for a second. Kelly able to gather it in. Looking for the screen from Muhammad. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Now the screen from Che. Throws up a floater, way short, and Scott able to grab the miss. Just over a minute left in regulation. Auburn not out of this one, down by 6.
It's a must-score possession for the Tigers.
Talia Scott, who's led the way for Auburn tonight, 6 3-pointers. Trying to throw up another one, and Mevius goes up with it. Looks like it's going to be a foul against her.
Yeah, they're going to call that one in the act of shooting against Mevius. But they are going to review, and that's big. They're going to review to see if it was a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer. I think the initial call on the floor was a 3 on the release by Talia Scott. But this is a really big call for the officials to make, because if Scott's able to go to the free throw line and hit all 3, and it is going to be 3 free throws, if she's able to knock down all this, it'll be a one-possession game.
Oregon with 3 timeouts, Auburn with just 2. You got to figure here in crunch time, we're going to see some timeouts. Scott able to make the first one and make it a 5-point deficit.
And Scott has really stepped up in this second half. Gaston was out for the majority of the second half. Came back late in the fourth, but Talia Scott keeping the Tigers in it to the very end.
It was a foul beyond the 3-point arc, so it's going to be 3 for Scott.
Need to box out if you're Oregon.
Scott goes 3 of 3 from the line, and immediately a quick timeout called. Called by Oregon. 66-63. Aiden, I mean, just where did this game come out of? It felt like Oregon, all the momentum was on their side, and then Auburn was keeping within reaching distance, and now over these past few minutes, they've just been attacking, and it's finally built up to where they're only down by 3.
And it feels like Oregon has led for pretty much the entire game, which is true. Oregon's led for exactly 30 minutes of this game. Auburn's led for 8:45, but it seems like Oregon's lead is so much bigger than it is, and it's been up to 8 points, 9 points, even 12 points at one point. But Auburn is just, they've done so well to fight back and just have that never give up mentality. Oregon with the 3-point lead. So I'll ask you, what do you think the Ducks do out of this timeout? Personally, I think they try to work the ball down in the post, and at least if you don't score, you try to draw a foul.
I mean, look, whatever they do here, they got to take some time off the clock. Still 30-second shot clock is on, and if you're able to get a point out of here, or even 2 points, just get it inbounds and try to take some clock if you can.
Might even maybe see Oregon try to go with the 2-for-1, like 21-second difference between shot and game clock.
Oregon has players all across the court. They get in Deja Kelly. We'll see if Auburn decides to foul as time winds down.
And Kelly waved off her teammates. I think she wants the isolation.
Kelly working around the screen. Looks like Oregon's trying to take this down. Take as much time off the clock. Kelly down the left alley. Over to Mevius. Mevius going up with it with the right-hand hook and gets the foul! Mevius magic again in the fourth quarter.
And that is just what the Ducks needed, an aggressive take right to the basket. Mevius gets both, gets the bucket and the foul. And that might all but ice it for Oregon.
Mevius has had a quiet night, just 8 points after that one. But she hits probably the biggest shot of the night and puts Oregon up by 5 with a chance to make it 6 with the free throw. Near perfect from the field tonight, 4 or 5, along with the 4 rebounds. Mevius converts. A timeout called by Auburn's side. That's exactly what you mentioned, Aiden. Oregon needed to attack the paint, and even though they didn't have the size out there in Philly Che, which is really what they've been turning to all night, Lisa Mevius just making moves, and she's able to hit a huge shot for Oregon.
So for the Ducks, you executed offensively. Now defensively, what do you do? I think for Kelly Graves, you need to make sure that Talia Scott she cannot get an open three because she has burnt this Oregon defense time and time again. She's hit 6 triples in this game. If someone else on Auburn makes a three, I think if you're Oregon, you can say, okay, at least it wasn't Scott, because that's where Auburn's been trying to get the ball, player they're trying to get the ball to every time. But Oregon up by 6 points. Obviously, you want to stop here. Well, we're getting down to the wire. I mean, what a game we've been treated to between these two teams. Auburn and Oregon, it's lived up to the hype.
It absolutely has. And, I mean, we kind of knew this was going to be a close matchup. Auburn coming in, receiving votes, not in the top 25, but a team that also came in undefeated just like Oregon and has had some good wins. A 53-point differential between all 3 of their opponents coming into this game. And Oregon, on the other hand, number 23 in the country after beating Baylor last weekend, or 2 weeks ago, on Sunday. And then a win over North Texas got them up to number 23 in the polls. Also 5-0. They played 2 more games over Auburn than the Tigers did coming into this one. And it's shown so far. The Ducks, they've been battle-tested, and they've been winning this battle so far. But you got 26 seconds left before they officially can say they stay undefeated. Bostic on the inbound. Mevius. Bostic underneath the hip and able to get the easy lay-in to go. And immediately a timeout taken by Oregon, probably to advance the ball if possible, but a 4-point deficit for Auburn.
And I think if you're Oregon, you will take that. You'll allow Auburn to get the 2 because you're still up 4 points. You're still up 2 scores. Oregon, I think, did a good job guarding the perimeter, saying, hey, you can have your 2 points. We are not going to get beat from beyond the arc. And they didn't. They allowed the layup underneath, but for Coach Graves, he calls timeout, and with 18.9, Auburn, I think you might see him go for a quick steal and then the foul. But free throw shooting is going to be key. Oregon 11 of 19 from the stripe today.
So you see what would happen. Ducks are 18 seconds away from being undefeated. The first 6-0 start since 2020 and 2020 and the 2021 season. They started 8-0 and also marked the 5th 6-0 start under Kelly Graves. This is a team that only had 2 conference wins all of last year in their final year in the Pac-12, and they lost to Colorado in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament by a significant amount. A lot of questions coming in for this team into this year is how was the first year in the Big Ten going to go? They haven't played any Big Ten opponents yet, but a lot of new faces on this team. Immediately inbounded to Muhammad, and she gets fouled by Scott.
And it's going to be the 5th foul against Auburn, so it'll send Oregon straight to the line.
Jay comes in for Scott. Put some size down low, as well as Sophia Bell. Falatea can knock down 1 or 2 of these free throws. She's able to knock down the first. Auburn with 1 timeout left. So you figured if they go quick here, maybe get a shot off, and they might have time for 1 more. He misses there, and immediately a timeout is called by Johnny Harris. 17 seconds on the clock. Really, for Auburn, all they can do is try to get a quick shot up and hope that they can force a turnover on Oregon. Otherwise, that might be all she wrote.
Yeah, I think the situation before when Auburn had the ball, they were looking for the 3 first and foremost to try to cut the lead down to 6 points. But now they can kind of do both. They can take a 2-pointer. I think going for a quick 2 if you're the Tigers isn't a bad idea because it forces Oregon to hit at least 1 free throw on the other end, and Oregon went 1 of 2 the last time at the line with Falatea. So it's going to be interesting out of this timeout what Coach Harris of the Tigers draws up for her team.
Auburn has outscored Oregon in this quarter of 21-20. The Ducks came in with a 7-point lead in the 4th quarter. Really, for the Ducks, that second quarter, you look back to it, that was really the difference maker because otherwise it's been pretty evenly matched up to this point. Auburn was leading Oregon in the first quarter 12-9, and the Ducks scored 24 in the second. And both teams scored 17 points in the third, and now Auburn outscoring Oregon by just 1. They're still down by 5, need to get off a quick shot. Inbound to Bostic. They're looking for Scott, their sharp 3-point shooter. Bostic over to Scott, guarded by Mevius, trying to create separation, has to throw up a shot, throws up a 3-pointer, way too short. Sophia Bell grabs the miss. Mevius trying to get it up ahead, tipped away, and it's gathered in. Scott throws up another 3-pointer, hits it. 0.8 seconds left on the clock. And Talia Scott, her 7th three-pointer of the night, and it brings the Tigers within 2.
Oh, man, this game should have been over after Scott missed the first attempt. All Oregon really had to do was sit on the ball and wait for the foul to come. They tried to play keep away from the Tigers, but Scott picks up the loose change and knocks down the 3, and it's a 2-point game, but with less than a second left, all Oregon really needs to do is get the ball inbounds, and that should pretty much end this ball game.
Yeah, with no timeouts left. Like you said, Oregon just has to get it inbounds to anybody. You know that Auburn's going to be bringing the pressure, but Talia Scott, what a night. 28 points, 9 of 22 from the field. She's already surpassed her last game total with 26 against Little Rock. She's on the watch list for the Ann Myers Drysdale, which is given every year to the best women's shooting guard. And like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, she missed the first 2 games of Auburn's season due to an injury that she suffered last year at Arkansas. But so far, in the game against Little Rock and the game against Oregon, she's been on fire.
So I think for Oregon right here, you just throw it to your own basket. All you have to do is touch the ball, and time should expire.
Less than a second in regulation. Ducks just need to get the ball in, and a whistle gets blown before Sophia Bell is able to give it up.
I think they were checking the reach of Gaston, who's defending this inbound pass.
Bell looking inbound, gets it into Mevius. Mevius just going to hold on to it. And Oregon survives a close one against the Tigers of Auburn. First time these two teams face off since 1990. And Kelly Graves and the Ducks, they get it done here at Matthew Knight Arena. Oregon, number 23 in the nation, stay undefeated and move to 6-0 on the new season.
Well, the 34-year wait in between these two teams meeting up, I think it was well worth it for Coach Graves and his Oregon team. Oregon improves to 6-0 for the first time since the 2020 season. And what a big win for the Ducks. Take a breath if you're an Oregon fan. That game came down to the wire, literally the very last second, but the Ducks hang on. What a game we were treated to.
A statement win, if you want to say. We knew that Baylor was a big win. Obviously, they were the number 12 team in the nation, but this win, you got to figure, especially after the win against Grand Canyon, had a quick turnaround, but the Ducks came out of the gate hot, and they never stopped fighting. Auburn, they put up a good fight till the very end, but the Ducks able to come out on top. Oregon, 70, Auburn, 68. The Ducks, they stay undefeated in the final game of their 6-game homestand. Don't go anywhere. We got our post-game interview with our sideline reporter, Olivia Arcenega, and our final stats and keys in this big Oregon win as the Ducks take down the Tigers here at Matthew Knight Arena. We're back after this on Big Ten Plus. Back inside Matthew Knight Arena, Oregon, with a gritty win over Auburn, 70-68 the final. And Filipina Che standing by with our sideline reporter, Olivia Arcenega. Olivia, to you.
Thanks, Saul. Well, that was a gritty, wild win tonight. How'd it feel to be out there?
It felt great, my first time coming back, working my way through it, and all my teammates had my back, so it felt really good.
Yeah. This was your debut in the starting lineup. You started the season coming off the bench. How did it feel to play 20-plus minutes in the game again?
Oh, man, I did? 20? It was good. I trusted my teammates. Obviously, it was, working back up, and I was just happy to be here tonight.
We saw a lot of emotion from you tonight on the court. Run me through some of those feelings, especially after the and ones.
Coach always tells me, crash the board, always gets on me. So, it feels great. Once you get the board, you put it back in. So, yeah, it felt great.
And now you've had 6 straight games in the comfort of your own home at Matthew Knight Arena. What's the mindset going into a stretch of away games?
Keeping it the same. We always fight hard no matter where we're at. Going to Hawaii, we're always going to play as hard as we can.
Thank you so much. Saul, back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Filipina Che leading the way for Oregon tonight. 14 points and 11 rebounds. She gets a double-double in her first start in this new young season. Let's take a look at the final stats. Oregon 28-59. The Ducks got off to a slow start in the first quarter, but really picked it up from the field. They didn't hit a ton of three-pointers tonight, but it didn't matter because the paint points really made up for it, Aiden.
Oh, certainly. Olivia just interviewed. Filipina Che was dominant from down low, and you can also mention Alexis Whitfield and Amina Muhammad just had their way against this Tigers defense close to the basket. Oregon plus 12 on points in the paint.
Well, we're back here courtside. Aiden, that was a fun one. Look, this Oregon team, especially after the struggles that they went through last year, you got to think that they're feeling good, going 6-0 on their first road trip.
Oh, they certainly are. The Ducks 6-0 for the first time since 2020, and they've beaten some pretty impressive teams. Auburn was one of them. Number 12 Baylor, probably their best win. But I know we're on the Big Ten Network, but if you're a fan of SEC basketball, watch out for this Auburn team because SEC is a loaded conference, but I think this Auburn team has a chance to make some real noise. You can give them a lot of credit. They put up a really strong fight against Oregon tonight.
Yeah, Talia Scott led the way with 28 points, and she was a threat from outside the arc. She's going to be someone that you want to watch for, not just in the SEC, but on a national scale going forward. But the Ducks, they're able to get the best of Auburn as they win it 70-68, and they move to 6-0 on the young season, and that's going to finish up their homestand. They'll head off to Hawaii next week to take on Georgia Tech and South Dakota State in the Hawaii North Shore Showcase. Meanwhile, Auburn, they'll stay on the West Coast and head down to face Cal on Friday at 1 o'clock. Thank you to everyone who made this broadcast possible, to the entire Quack video team, and to our head producer, Alex Stimson, for our sideline reporter, Olivia Arciniga, and for my color commentator, Aiden Hess. My name is Saul Galvan, saying so long here from Matthew Knight Arena, where the Ducks get it done against Auburn, 70-68 the final. We will say goodnight here from Eugene.